The Nick and Matt Show.
Welcome to the show, Chris Dickerson. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, welcome to the Nick and Matt Show. We've had you on before. I think we even did a Two Truths or a Lie with you. We might have did Judge That Disc Golfer. I can't remember. Yeah, we did. Because we asked how far you could throw a disc. Do you remember what you answered or what you would answer today?
Oh, goodness. I would say max distance 600 or just below. Is that accurate or no? Is that what I said or no?
Nick, do you remember what he said?
No, I don't remember. I know he had a very real answer compared to other people. Like I think he said golf distance was like 475 to 500, but then max distance was 575 to 600 maybe. But I remember him saying like a very real answer compared to a lot of other people who throw out, oh yeah, I throw 550 feet, no problem. And I'm like, gotcha. So you throw further than a majority of the top pros. Decent.
Yeah. He said golf distance. I believe you did say 450, but you clarified and you said like accurately. And 450 accurately is elite. Nobody questioned that. That is elite. All right.
Yes.
Yes, I like it.
That sounds a lot more like what I said.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We learned a lot about you. Go back and check that episode out, everybody. It's a long time ago. Two Truths and a Lie was fun. Like, Chris, you were good at other sports. Soccer, right? Soccer was the other one?
Mm-hmm. Soccer and football.
That's right. Soccer and football. And your real name is not Chris Dickerson. It was something else. No, that was the lie. I don't remember what the name was, but that was funny. Okay. So congratulations, man. I feel like it's a weird world we live in where sports specifically, but now disc golf, like we're starting to hear dollars and numbers, how much somebody's worth. Does that feel weird to you at all to have people talking about that?
Yeah, it's a little different because, we're not used to that in disc golf yet, and we're just kind of breaking into that. So yeah, contracts are getting bigger. I think it's going to be talked about more. So yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, but does it feel weird? They're like, oh, those people over there are talking about how much money I make.
Yeah, a little bit. I could definitely see it being weird in certain situations. Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Nice. It's definitely a pretty cool thing. And, I feel like you're such an awesome guy, like as far as perception, personality, like you like to see these things happen for people like that. So congratulations, man. You put in a lot of hard work on it. So you go to Discraft. What are you most excited about? I'm sure you've been asked that question a few times, but like what most excites you right now? Like in this moment even?
I'm really excited to get back out and to be playing tournaments again. Getting new discs that just puts out a new it's a challenge. It's a new challenge to learn new discs and to get to compete with these new discs. So I look forward to this challenge, and I'm really excited to be getting back out on the course and competing with the best.
Have you found because I'm sure everyone wants to know what your go-to discs are. I know in the video with Discraft, you said stuff like the Undertaker, the Zone, the Force, very, very well-known discs with Discraft, but have you figured out what your putter of choice is, what your, upshot disc is, kind of stuff like that? I think main thing a lot of people want to know is like, what is your putter going to be?
So the putter is going to be the Challenger Os. I like a little bit of stability for my putter. And it feels pretty comfortable in the hand too. As far as like a disc that I didn't talk about in the Discraft video. So obviously the Force, the Buzz, the Undertaker, the Zone.
Is this exclusive? Is this exclusive?
It could be.
Hold on.
I think.
Oh, give it a second.
And now for a Nick and Matt Show exclusive.
All right, Chris. I'm just messing around, but what do you got? That sounds pretty cool.
That's
I couldn't wait.
So one disc that I have found that I'm really looking forward to, and it's not a very popular disc, at least I don't see it as a very popular disc, is the Esp Challenger Os.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't even think I've ever thrown an Esp Challenger Os.
That's my point.
There you go.
I've thrown the
Not gonna lie, I didn't
Challenger.
even know they made a Challenger OS in the ESP plastic. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Challenger generally. Like, I like it, but yeah, I haven't. No, I don't think I've thrown that. So, what excites you about that disc?
So it's reliably overstable, but it's not as overstable as, say, the Zone. So it's a glidey, workable throwing putter. And when I think they only made them for one run. I think it was the 30th Memorial. So I think there was only one batch of them.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So you're just messaging people on Instagram like, yo, if you got any of these, send them on over. Maybe Big Germ had some from way back in the day. Who knows? But
Yep, that's it.
nice. Have you messed around with Paul's line of discs, like the Onyxes, the Zeus, the Hades, anything like that? Have you been toying around with anything?
Yeah, I like the Zeus for sidearms and for longer turnover shots. I think I haven't gotten very many of those. I know a couple of them that I have are more on the overstable side, but the one that I'm sidearming is kind of a hyzer flip, so it's a little bit straighter to maybe slightly understable. I haven't thrown the Malta. I just picked one up at our local disc golf store. I'm gonna give it a try, see how that is. The Luna is good. I'm throwing it in the base plastic, the Paul's, I think, blend plastic, and I'm trying it in the Big Z and the Z. I think it's not going to be in the bag all the time, but I think it'll come out in and out throughout the season for like turnover shots as needed.
Definitely. Is there a specific event now with the whole change of bag and everything that you're looking forward to most getting out there? I know Discraft is a huge sponsor on a lot of big events. Like, do you have any events this year besides Worlds, besides USCGC, that you're just really looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the what is it called? The Players Championship, or the is that what it's called?
The Champions Cup? I always
Champions
get it
Cup.
wrong. Yeah,
Nick
I think
always
it's the
gets
Champions
it
Cup.
wrong.
Heinold had to correct me on it when we had him on a few months ago, but I think the Champions Cup.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's at WR Jackson at the IDGC. So that's my favorite course that I've played so far, and I'm really looking forward to getting back out there and playing it.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
it
I
is
love
the
that course. It's
Champions Cup.
awesome.
It is the Champions Cup, just to clarify for everybody. So throwing Discraft, I have a few Discraft discs in my bag, not many, but one of them is, and everybody would know if they've played with me more than once or once. I throw an ESP Comet, a limited edition. So back when they were limited, ESP Comets. I love them. Have you had a chance to throw a Comet yet?
I have thrown the Comet a little bit, and I think I had a limited edition titanium one that I was throwing.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. I'm still too new. I don't know if it was limited edition or not, but
Cool.
It was good for like hyzer flip to turnover shots. It just seemed like the harder that I threw it, the more flexible the rim felt. So I think I'm leaning a little bit more toward the Buzz SS.
Yeah, and Paul didn't like the Comet either when I watched him go to Discraft. Like, it's a unique disc. It suits my style. It's like a slow flyer. It's like, it's interesting, but I just was curious. So I heard, because I got our buddies over at Smashbox. I listened to a lot of that. I was traveling and was able to hear a lot of that conversation. So things like, you're going to be traveling in a nice RV. You're still not flying, most likely, I would imagine, but are you hitting up more events than you would have in previous years this year?
Yes, we're going to be starting out at the All-Star event in Arizona, and then working our way out to the Vegas tournament, back to Waco. So yeah, after that, it's pretty much all the tournaments that I have been playing. Maybe a couple more thrown in there, but yeah, we're starting out with the somewhat Western swing.
Okay. Do you feel like going from previous seasons to this season specifically, that there is a besides the fact that you're playing with different plastic, mentally and or physically, do you feel like your performance is going to be greater? How do you feel, I guess, is my question, coming into this season?
I don't know. I think it depends on the player. I feel like going into this season, I'm looking forward to it a little bit more because, like I said, there's the challenge of learning the new plastics and stuff like that. So I'm a little excited. So whenever, you're looking forward to something, I really hope it turns out as good as I expect it to be. So, yeah, I'm excited to start playing tournaments again and to try out these new discs. So, I mean, I guess only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. What's an off season look like for you? I know this year has been an incredibly busy off season. Big change of sponsorships. I know recently you've been building a house. If it's all complete yet, what's an off season for you generally look like? Are you practicing much? What's going on in your world?
Yeah. So usually I'm practicing every single day, weather permitting. So for example, this year, I had to take some time out to go up to Michigan and get filming and stuff like that done. And then I come home a couple weeks later, it looks like Michigan outside. It snowed yesterday. It snowed today. It's tomorrow. I think it's going to warm up just enough to maybe. No, I lied. Tomorrow's supposed to be cold too. Then the next day it might warm up to maybe melt some of it away, and then it's going to snow again. So here recently, my practice is kind of cut down, but I've still been doing some putting and stuff like that. But any other day, as long as it's not raining or snowing, I should be out there practicing. It doesn't really matter how cold it is or what. I think I practiced the other day and it was around 20 degrees. So not terribly cold, but cold enough for most people to say, "Nah, I'm going to skip today."
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, this is not an interview about me, but this Saturday I played in what felt like minus 20 degrees for a team event. Yeah, it was cold. Discs were breaking upon hitting trees. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Cold dad joke. There we go.
Good Lord.
It never stops. I'm sorry. All right.
I got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talking about just off season stuff. I just attended one of the Brawl Series events here in Virginia. Are you planning on coming up for any of those?
No, I don't think so. I usually love to come up and play those, but yeah, this off season has just been kind of busy, so I don't think I'll really have time before we start to head out.
Okay.
When I showed up to Vincent's course at Timber Ridge, he was like, "Oh, I wonder if any of the big names. I think you might have played there before. Zach Melton played there before." And so we were, I'm watching cars pull up, and I'm like, "Okay, I don't see the Discraft RV yet. I don't see it yet." But all right, cool. Now I have more of a chance. All right, thank you.
All right, so I'm trying to think how to word this, but in the evolution, if you will, of Chris Dickerson's disc golf game, from the time you've been playing years ago to the recent past 5 years, and kind of just how you've developed as a player, I don't remember talking about you 10 years ago. That's just me. I'm sure you were playing 10 years ago, but you weren't making headlines in that way. You are now. Where do you feel like you are at in the evolution of your game? So the past 5 years, 10 years, what does the next 5 or 10 years look like for you? Do you have a vision of that, or are you just kind of flying by the seat of your pants?
I think I'm still just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I will say 10 years ago, I was just getting into disc golf. Wow. I think around 2011 was whenever I first picked up a disc. So, there's I was going to say there's a good chance you didn't hear me then. So it took me, I want to say about 3 years to 4 years before I started playing open tournaments and stuff like that. So I think the point where I'm at now, I'm still learning. And I feel like I'm still continuing to get better. I see improvements in different places throughout the years. And, hopefully I've got a high enough ceiling that I'll continue to get better for a while, instead of, just plateauing and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Let me do this real quick. Evan in studio here. Statmando Evan, if you've met Statmando before. Here's Evan. Evan, you got a question for Chris?
Yeah, well, I got some cool stats that I'm just going to lay out here, and that'll kind of lead into my question.
Okay.
One, I mean, everyone knows Chris is kind of a road warrior in the B and C tiers, still playing local events. It's been almost your 2-year anniversary since your last B or C tier loss. Coming up, I believe it's January 25th of 2020. It's been 20 straight events since then. Actually, I did since 2017. You have played 98 B and C tier events. You have won 79 of them and have finished podium in 94 of those 98. So that's some awesome numbers right there. Very cool. Are you still planning on hitting a lot of B and C tiers this year? Is the change with disc graph going to change your thoughts on the other events you play?
I think whenever I'm at home, I don't like taking time off. So if there's a tournament going on, it doesn't really matter what the tier of it is. I'm probably going to play it. For example, the Knoxville Ice Bowl is a C tier, and it's getting ready to come up in about a week or two. I'm definitely going to play that.
Okay.
Just because, it's going to be my first tournament with a new bag, and, I would rather, walk into the pool instead of jumping in on the deep end. If that makes sense.
It makes sense, but my style with almost everything is dive in without checking the depth. So that's bad. I should learn something from you, Chris. We're going to actually get here in just a minute. I'm going to open up the phone lines, and doesn't mean someone's going to call, but the lines will be open for that. So let's go ahead and jump into that here. And we will take calls for Chris in his upcoming season. So let's get right into this. All right, everybody. The phone lines are open for Chris. Chris doesn't have to answer anything. I'm just going to throw that out there. We'll just drop you. The other thing is, when you call in, please just give us your question, and then we'll drop you out, or you can drop off yourself there and we'll answer it. Please turn off your streaming YouTube in the background. We don't need to hear ourselves talking through the phone either. All right, Nick. Oh, well, here's our first call. Just like that, everybody. Let's let him in. All right, welcome to the Nick and Matt Show. You got a question for Chris?
Yes, this is Daniel in Texas. Hello to the chat room. Chris, what is the number one aspect of your game you're looking to improve the most this year?
All right, short and sweet.
Yeah, number one aspect for me, I think, is putting. I know a lot of people say, you're a good enough putter, but I think with putting, anybody can continue to improve. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can always get better at that. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Awesome. We have our next caller lined up. Let's let him into the room here. Welcome. You're on the Nick and Matt Show. What's your question for Chris?
What's up, Nick and Matt? This is Josh with Daddy Disc Golf. Just wanted to call and say what's up to Nick. Say what's up to C Dick. Congratulate him on the new sponsorship. My question for him is, if he has to pick any Tour Series disc, either taken by another player or not, what Tour Series disc would he want from Discraft for this season? Thank you, guys. Have a great show.
Awesome. Thank you.
Ooh, good question. I'd have to go with the Buzz. We did the first release. Those seem like they went pretty good. So why not continue with that?
Exactly. Now, actually, I have a quick question to go on top of that really quick. The plastic that they came out with for that limited run of buzzes they did for you, is that going to be the 2022 Tour Series plastic? Do you have any idea?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
They looked awesome. They sold out, I feel like, within minutes. I remember seeing it late, trying to get on, and they were all sold out. So I was like, oh, well, hopefully Paul gets some so I can, just try to steal one real quick.
All right. We've lined up our next caller here. Let's let him in. Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show. What's your question for Chris?
Thank you. Chris, we all know that you love the Buzz. I was wondering, what are some unique shots that you see yourself throwing this year with your new Buzzes?
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the call.
Unique shots with the Buzz. Obviously, the Buzz is a disc you can work on hyzer and straight. I think the best shot the Buzz is going to help me out with is the straight shots. Hyzer flip to straight, not really moving right to left. So those perfectly straight shots that are the hardest shot in disc golf, in my opinion.
Which, whether or not you think Maple Hill is tough, Maple Hill is a lot of straight shots as well. So.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, I snagged up a few of the Chris Dickerson buzzes, and we actually had a question lined up here. I want to see if I can pull it up real quick. Oh, we got another caller, so let's let them in. I don't need to talk here. Welcome to the Nick and Matt show. You got a question for Chris? Hello. Welcome to the Nick and Matt
Chris,
show.
Stratton here in Iowa. Hey, just want to know real quick, tell us about your RV and how is it set up? Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the RV, I think it's around 31 feet. It is a Class A. I think it has a master bedroom in the back, a couple of bunk beds that we're probably going to be using for storage, and the rest is just kind of like open area.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it's like, are you going to do the version of Cribs except for an RV? You can do the tour, show all the nice features.
You never know.
Okay. Here's a question for you that came in earlier. Let me go ahead and play this. This is pre-recorded. Let's go ahead and hear from Chris.
Hey, Chris, this is Jay calling from Columbus, Ohio. My question that I wanted to ask is if you have seen the collectors page on Facebook for your discs yet, and what your thoughts are on all of a sudden there being such a hot market for Discraft Dickerson discs. Thank you.
What do you think?
Yeah, so I've definitely seen that page. I'm a part of that page. I'm in there floating around, giving a few likes here and there, maybe some comments. But yeah, that's crazy. I think within a few days, I could be wrong in that. It might have been closer to a week, but there was 10,000 members. Or no, I'm sorry, not 10,000. There was 1,000.
It'll get to 10,000. Give it time.
Yeah, hopefully. But no, yeah, there was like 1,000 in a short amount of time. So it's just great to see the support and all that stuff.
All right, cool. And then we had one text message question come in earlier, and it says this: "What up, Chris? My name is Derek from California. My question is, do you feel like joining Team Discraft adds pressure, or does it take pressure off of you to perform well this season? Do you feel one way or the other with that?"
No, I don't really feel one way or the other. Because whenever it comes down to it, even though we are part of a team under a company, it's an individual sport. So, yeah, I don't think it adds any pressure or takes any away.
Awesome. That's a whole conversation that we can have when you're not here, is just like the team mentality. I mean, we could have it with you too, but we don't want to waste everybody's time. You're never mind. Let's move on. You want to stick around and play stat or fiction with us? Have you seen or heard about this game yet?
I have not, but I'd love to. But can you all still see me? My screen went to some kind of different window.
I can see you at least.
Don't tell him we can still see him. We'll just leave him on the rest of the show. Yes, we can see you. So if you're okay on your side or you mess around with things, that's fine. But we can see and hear you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, so what we're going to do, stat or fiction, it's a short game, but it's exactly what it is. Stat Mando is going to provide us with a statement and ask us if it's a stat or is it fiction. And I don't know what he's brought tonight, but let's go ahead and get into the intro of stat or fiction. Here we go.
Okay.
Stat or fiction, presented by Stat Mando.
All right, presented by Stat Mando. Evan, you're up, man. What do you got?
All right. So we covered the Shelley Sharp Memorial to start the show a little bit, but we're jumping right back in it for stat or fiction. And as we said, Anthony Barella took it down on the MPO side. And the first stat or fiction statement is, this is his first A tier or better win since 2019 at the 2019 Shelley Sharp Memorial. So pretty much he has not won an A tier or better since then, because I did say earlier that he won it in 2019. So
since then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we usually don't make the guests go first. So Nick, you're up.
I'm going to say it's a stat. He has not won anything until now since 2019.
Okay. Not until now. I don't recall, but A tier is not that big. Like, it's not necessarily going to make big news. But Nick, you know him fairly well. I should roll with you, but okay, I'm going to roll with you for this one because I don't want to get you out and ahead here. What do you think, Chris?
I think it is also a stat.
All right. All three of us lined up stat. Evan, what is it?
Is that 3 stats?
Yes.
Wow.
So is Evan about to get a point?
I am about to get a point. This is fiction. You guys are sleeping on my man AB. He won the 2020 challenge at Goat Hill, which was a silver series. It was an A tier as well.
Right.
He won it by
he
1 stroke over Thomas Gilbert.
Dang it.
But
like an insane amount of birdies in a row.
That was his only A tier or better win since then. Not to discredit it, of course, but he does have one.
Man, like, I don't need to talk more than I do. I was going one way and I was like, I can't let Nick run away. Oh, dang. All right. Give us the next one. That was fun. Here we go.
All right. So mentioned earlier too, Jennifer Allen took it down on the FPO side, the Shelley Sharp Memorial, that is. Owen Scoggin, as we said, lost by 18 strokes to Jennifer Allen. She finished in 3rd place. The stat or fiction statement number 2 is Owen Scoggins never lost an event by 18 or more strokes in all of 2021.
And to be clear, as a clarifier, because I'm going to be first here, when you say lose, you mean 2nd place, or it doesn't matter?
Second place or worse. Like it
doesn't matter. She's separated by 18 strokes from the winner.
Yes.
Since what was the date?
All of 2021.
So all of last year. Yes, stat out of me stat. Chris, what do you think?
Okay, so just so I'm right on the question, you said that she did not get beat by 18.
Yeah. So if you say stat, you agree that she never lost by 18 or more. If you say fiction, you think she did lose by 18 or more.
Okay, I'm going to say stat. That did not happen.
Okay. Nick, you're up.
Oh, now it's tough because another point, or if you guys both get points and I don't.
That's
but
the game I played with you, and then I was wrong.
I know. I'm gonna have to go stat as well.
Safe play.
All right, Evan, what do we got?
This is supposed to be exciting, guys, but it still is exciting because this is a fiction.
No,
I get you guys again. She actually lost by 18 strokes or more 5 times last year.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, Paige Pierce 4 of the times. Paige Pierce OTB Open by 18, Las Vegas Challenge by 19, Portland Open by 21, U.S. Women's by 27, and then she also lost to Haley King at the DDO by 28 strokes.
Dang it.
Again, not to discredit Owen. I mean, those are just fantastic performances by those Paige Pierce and Haley.
It makes sense in hindsight. Like, hearing everything you're saying, it's like, yes, but for some reason, my head played it, and I even asked for the clarifier, like, if she was like 2nd place to 1st, like, it wasn't more than 18 strokes. But like, that's kind of how my brain played it out. But like, I even asked the clarifier.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So that is not on you.
Tournament or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So at this point, this has never happened, Chris, where 0-0, he's winning. Here we go. Question 3.
All right. So I'll give you guys a chance here and just scrap this Shelley Sharp Memorial. We're going totally different subject. This is gonna be like, this is out of left field.
Okay.
The current upside down disc world record holder, as recognized by the World Flying Disc Federation, was set with a meta tilt.
First of all, I didn't know this was a thing.
So yeah, I'll give some clarification as you guys think. The upside down distance world record means that the entire flight, the disc is upside down. So from the release point to the landing, I believe it can be thrown like a normal backhand shot and stay upside down, or it can be like a thumber that stays upside down the
Have
entire
you ever
time.
seen the epic thrown? Like that flies right side up, but it comes out weird. But anyways, okay, so upside down the whole time. And I hate to do this to our guest, but you're up, Chris. You're up.
Okay. Judging by the way that I've seen people throw the tilt, I'm going to say that is a stat. I think it does hold the record.
See, he can't go 3 stats in a row or 3 fictions in a row, right? So if I say fiction, then, you know. But at the same time, if it's a stat, then we just tie, and ties are no fun. So,
but what if he does?
Fiction.
All right, Nick went with fiction. Dang it. I was hoping Nick would go stat and I could go fiction and just be like, but then I don't know. Strategies are horrible here. I feel like I'm just talking this out. I've also watched Simon throw it upside down, like filmed him doing it. We tested it with rangefinders. I feel like it was in that like, and this is pretty far, but like that 350-ish range. But if somebody really cranked it, like trying, are there discs that go further? Like throwing an upside down ultimate disc or any, like, is there any way? Dang it. I'm going to go with Chris on this one. I'm going stat. Here we go, Evan.
All right. This is a stat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this was set in September of 2021. His name's Set Day. Recently, Statmando actually launched our Statmando community. He was one of the guys that reached out and interested in doing stats with us. So we were kind of doing intros, and this is what he shared about himself. And so I learned more. He threw it 176.6 meters. That's 579.6 feet with a Tasmania meta tilt, breaking the record, which was about 480 feet before. It was 147.2 meters. And wow. It, like I said, it has to stay upside down the entire time. I believe he said an Epic at one point held the record, but then they like apparently the footage showed it didn't stay upside down the entire time. But he might have beat that anyways, or I don't know exactly. But yeah, it's wild with the meta tilt. You wouldn't think that has a record for flying the farthest. Simon and Eagle and I've always thrown it upside down, and that's known, but still kind of a crazy coincidence.
It's a disc where if you try to throw it hard, the right side up, it doesn't go far. It's the opposite.
Yeah. So. And just to add to this, he said when the wind that day was only about 6 to 10 miles an hour. It's not like, you know, the old desert. Well, I shouldn't say old, it still happens. The desert ones with like hurricane winds. And he says he can throw a disc up to 82 miles an hour in like, I think a thumber, which is wild.
All right.
That's
there. If there's video footage, someone send the link.
I have the link. I can share it with you.
Evan has the link. We can share it later.
I come prepared.
All right. So here's how it works, Chris. We are now tied. Usually Statmando has a tiebreaker, and they'll specify how that works. But let's see what you got, Evan.
All right. Yeah. Tiebreaker is a little bit different.
Yeah.
It's not a number based one. So if you guys both get it wrong, we'll have to figure out, and maybe we keep on going. I think we can get it. So, so Set Day set the record. He played a sport in college. What sport did he play?
The guy who threw upside down 579 feet or whatever that was.
Yes.
What sport did he play in college? So we're both gonna guess, and then you'll say if one of us is right.
Yep.
Okay. Chris, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay, and can we guess the same thing, Evan?
Then it would tie again, and then I could find something else out, I guess.
Go ahead, Chris.
That's why I wanted to go first.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you said he threw 82 miles an hour with the disc. I'm going to say that was an overhand, and that was baseball.
Because that's really good guess, I'm going to go tennis.
You guys think I would have a tiebreaker that was that obvious? No, it wasn't baseball and it wasn't tennis. So we'll keep on going real quick.
Here we go. Chris, you're up, man.
Okay. What state was he from? Can I ask that?
Yeah, Utah.
Utah.
Okay, that doesn't help very much.
It was cricket, wasn't it? It was cricket.
Okay, I'm going to say Football.
Is it a major sport?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now he just gave me an answer, but at least it
So
wasn't
is
unfair.
football. So is tennis.
I was going to
so
say,
is
at least it wasn't unfair. Basketball.
No. Someone in the chat's guessed it, and they're guessing crazy things right now. So it's not one of those.
I can't look at the chat, Chris. I'm putting my hand up.
Yeah, it's a sport people know. I can give more hints if we want.
We'll guess a few more. Well, Chris,
let's rattle them off. Let's go.
Okay, yeah. First person to say it.
Soccer.
Well, that was easy. We're done. Yeah, it was
there
soccer.
You go.
So,
hey, technically, when he said football, he could have been correct.
I thought about that. I decided not to ruin it at that moment. I wanted to go on, but
all right. So there's the points. Chris had 2 points. He wins the game. I had 1. Nick with the 0, the goose egg, which is not usual.
Yeah. What's funny is Chris was all psyched up about winning Stat or Fiction. I think he was more psyched about that than I've seen him when he makes like a 400-foot ace or a 200-foot throw in. So clearly. Stat or Fiction is more intense than disc golf, I guess now.
It's interesting.
It can be.
It can be. I think this is true about most disc golfers that are in the competitive scene. Would you describe yourself as a very competitive person?
Yes.
Short and sweet. I'm more competitive than you, Chris. Do you believe that?
No.
See, even when it comes to that, no, you're not.
Right.
So, and that's true. Like board games, you like board games, like trying to win them and all that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If it's any kind of competition, I'm trying to win.
There you go.
To rag on Nick for a second, that was the first time Nick ever went over in Stat or Fiction. I looked it up real quick. Like you guys said it before. I have stats on Stat or Fiction, of course.
Wow.
But I already forgot. I think you had 4 total 3-point episodes, so that's pretty good. Actually, last episode you got all 3. So
yeah, I was gonna say I did pretty well the last one that we did. But
you have been. I've been. This is funny. I love how Evan just pulls that little nugget.
Yeah, I actually didn't even track wins. I should have done that. I just did whether you got the question right or not, and I wasn't doing tiebreakers. But I'll have to do more research. I guess.
More research. Good.
Sounds good.
Good times. Hope you enjoyed your time on the Nick and Matt show. We want you to come back. But we totally appreciate your time. We're looking forward to what you do out there. Nick has something else.
One final question. I'm sure everyone wants to know it. What is the tournament that you want to win this year, or what is your main goal going out in 2022?
I mean, obviously, I would like to win tournaments like Worlds or USDGC, but if I had to pick one other than those two, it would be the Players Championship. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Nope. The Champions Cup.
Wait, what is it?
The Players Cup was an old major. This is the Champions Cup.
The Champions Cup.
Happening in Georgia.
The Champions Cup. That's it. That's my answer.
That's the one that's up on the poster in his room. No, he doesn't know. But nobody does. Nick, to be clear, Nick said this. He messed that up talking to Heinold in an interview.
Yeah, I messed it up in front of Heinold, and he had to, quote me on it. So
I'm sure I'll be quoted.
We'll
clickbait it. Chris doesn't even know what tournaments he wants to win.
Okay.
With it.
So from the first time I met you in person saying, hey, can I interview you on Maple Hill, hole 18 green? I said, can you tell me some lies about yourself? You didn't know me. You gave it all you got, and we loved it. We appreciated you then. We still do. We wish the best for you out there. Anything you want to say that we didn't cover before you go?
Nope. I think we pretty much covered it all.
Alden Harris wants to know where Brittany's at. He's asked a few times. I've been waiting to say it.
So Brittany is watching the show from the couch. I actually just got done playing video games with Alden, so that's why he's hanging around in the chat.
Nice.
What games you guys playing?
What's your video game of choice, and then I'm done, because I was just playing Halo before I got onto this. So
recently it's been Call of Duty.
Nice. The new is it Vanguard? Is that the new one?
Nope, just Warzone.
Just Warzone. Nice.
Man,
it's good times.
All right.
Fun stuff.
Totally cool, man. Look forward to seeing what you do out there again. Congratulations on the big deal and the move in your career. And without further ado, we'll let you go and get back to your gaming or hanging out with your wife or whatever you're doing now. Enjoy, relax, get ready for the season the way you do, and we'll see you out there, man.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you all for having me.
All right, man. Have a good evening. All right.
You too. See ya.
Peace out.
See ya.
The Nick and Matt Show, a disc golf podcast designed for you, the disc golfer. Find the Nick and Matt Show on your favorite podcast platforms or join the conversation live on YouTube.